Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I know I do have several new subscribers and I'm so grateful for that and thank you for joining us. But anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I eat in a day or, most days. And I just want to share that with you guys. I have changed up some of my eating as far as, going from carnivore to ketovore to keto and just whole foods in general. So I want to say more of clean eating. I've changed it up because if you're new, I just want to kind of explain my journey. A couple of years back, I had gained about 63 pounds and it was from health issues to medications. I am a migrainer, so I have to take, certain medications, and I feel like a couple of them help me put on that weight. And of course, you are what you eat. So I wasn't having any good eating habits. I wasn't able to eat the way I had in the past. And I always had a healthy weight up until a few years back. And I feel affected everything I did from sleep to obviously feeling just terrible. And I do suffer from IBS, migraine, so I had to really change things up. I am 47. Of course, our body does not function like it did 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So we do have to, as we get older, do things a little bit differently. So I did start on a fasting journey. Then I started just lowering my carbs from 25 to 30. And I did have good success with that. It really helped. I lost in the first month, I believe, first month to 6 weeks, I lost like 13 pounds. So we know that it isn't, all fat. A lot of it is water weight, but even so, progress was being made. And I just continued that journey. Up until last fall, I decided to dive into the ketogenic, cutting out carbs, even, the fruits and things like that. And I really had success with it. You do have to play with what works for you. Some people, cutting out every single carb, going carnivore, might work for some, going ketovore might work for others. With me, I went through different phases where I did the keto with veg, and then I went, I guess that would be like ketovore, and then went strictly carnivore. Carnivore was hard for me to sustain because I love vegetables. So that was hard, but I did have success with that. And again, you have to do what works for you, what works for your body, what makes you feel good overall. So, I played around with those types of, ways of eating, and I did have success. However, now that I've hit my goal and I'm not trying to lose anymore, I'm just trying to maintain, I've incorporated back vegetables and fruits. Now, as far as carbs are concerned, I do not eat processed carbs. I'm talking packaged foods, just really processed carbs. I do have, fruits. I don't eat rice, breads, things like that. I do have very little dairy, and, that would be my Greek yogurt that I really like to eat. And I have incorporated Purely Elizabeth granola. Now, that is processed, obviously, but it has a little bit of better ingredients, and I don't eat a lot of it. I put like a third cup into my yogurt. So again, process, I'm talking chips, candies, things like that. I really cut out. I want to say I eat clean 80 to 85% of the times, with exception of, family gatherings, birthdays, things like that. Like, we just had Father's Day. I did have a sweet. So I do not overindulge in things like that because that's where you will get in trouble. And as far as candies, my husband is a huge Sour Patch Kid fanatic. I mean, we're talking the extreme sour. So when he has those, I will have some with him. And I try and do that on the weekends. I don't want to mess up what I have going during the week. That is more, special time. And I just feel like I've been able to maintain eating this way, and I've incorporated fruits and vegetables back the last couple of weeks, and so far I've had great success. As far as gaining weight or anything, I have not. I actually lost a couple of pounds within the past couple of weeks, so I really feel that portion size has a lot to do with it. You can have, I can eat a whole pineapple if I allow myself, just because I love pineapple. So obviously I'm not going to do that. So everything I try and use your hands, nuts, small, a small apple, you measure, basically just measuring out your food and using the back of your labels to measure. If it has 2 tablespoons of almond butter, you don't want to go over that. You want to do 1 or 2, things like that. So I'm doing exactly all that, and like I said, I've had success. So anyway, for the new people that have come on here, I will link my videos on my health journey, fasting, up here, as well as in the description. So that way you have an idea of what I've been through, what I've been doing, what I've been eating, and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of, share that with you. And also too, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am here to help you in any way I can. So again, any ideas, questions, please ask down below. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Good morning, guys. I just finished my Pilates workout and I'm exhausted. It really, working those muscles that you hardly use, and it's challenging, but I really enjoy doing it. Afterwards, I feel so energized and so limber. It just feels so good to do it. Anyway, I already had my coffee before my workout, and now I'm going to show you what I'm going to have for breakfast. It is 9:20, and I'll go ahead and show you. It's going to be some yogurt, half a cup of berries, and a little bit of mixed raw nuts in it. So I'll go ahead and show you here. Okay, so I already have half a cup of berries in here. It's I buy them frozen, so I let them thaw out right before, about I'd say 30 to 45 minutes before. And this is the yogurt that I'm having. It says here 1 cup, actually 3/4 cup is 160 calories, total carbs 5 grams, 15 grams of protein, and fat is total fat 9 grams. But to me, it's healthy. There's not a lot of sugar. There's no extra sugar added, and that's what I like about this yogurt. So I will have half a cup, and to me, this tastes so good. It almost tastes like, in my opinion, cream cheese. So yeah, I really like it. And I'm gonna put it here in this cup here for measurement. And I still do measure my stuff. I'd say majority of the time, just to make sure, you know, I do want to keep my portions in line. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that in here. And then as far as nuts go, these I don't really measure. I just kind of sprinkle some in. So this is what we have here. And to me, it is just so good. And this is it here. The yogurt, the nuts, the berries, so good. So that is my breakfast. And I am not famished right now, but I know I will be. I'm going to start getting ready for the day, and I know I will be hungry in the next 30 minutes or so. So I'd rather eat knowing that I am a little bit hungry than super famished, because if I wait until I'm really hungry, then I tend to overeat more, and I'd rather not do that. You know, that's something that we don't want to do. But anyway, so it's 9:20. I will see you at lunch. Hi guys. I am showing you what I'm eating today for lunch. This morning I had my coffee, and I call it my keto coffee. I've posted it on my stories before. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you might want to do that, because I post a lot of, you know, what I'm eating in my stories. But anyway, this is what I'm eating for lunch. It is a sausage link, and it is ribs. So I just want to show you here. So this is the sausage link and some ribs. Now, am I going to finish the whole thing? I might not, but who knows? I'm pretty famished right now. But this is it for lunch, and I'll see you for dinner. Hi guys, we are in my kitchen, and tonight for dinner, I am making some pork chops. I'm making some Brussels sprouts, and I will be eating the pork chops as well as the Brussels sprouts. But for my husband, he'll eat Brussels sprouts as well as white rice. I know, terrible carb, but he just loves his rice. And for the pork chops, let me show you guys here. This is what they look like. Pretty thick pieces, and I like the bone in just because I feel like it gives it more flavor. But yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in and start cooking dinner. Okay, so I'm gonna start, I turned on the heat on the pan, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in some oil. Now, since the pork chops are gonna be cooking a while, I like to use avocado oil, and I'll just put enough for the pork chops. And even throughout the cooking of the pork chops, just because, I don't know, it can take a while and get really hot, sometimes I'll throw in, you know, a little bit of water to keep the moisture in, because I do not like really dry pork chops. I just don't like it. So I'll throw in a little bit of water if it starts getting too dry, and I don't want them to burn either. So let me go. I'll have the one pork chop, and my husband will have two. And normally, I don't know, I buy a big package of like 4, but they did not have any. And I just want to make sure and get all the oil. Okay. I'm going to put my spices, which are garlic, salt, and I will put some pink salt on it. So this is the garlic salt I use. And I actually want to wait a little bit. I wanted to kind of heat up a little bit. I've heard that when you put salt on meat that isn't at least halfway cooked, if not maybe a little bit more, that it tends to make the meat tough. So yeah, that's what I do not want to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cover that up a little bit. And Brussels sprouts I don't put in until they're pretty much almost done. And the rice, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rice in my rice cooker here. I bought this rice cooker, I wanna say, okay, there we go. Probably several, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And it does really well. And what I also do is, so it's not so starchy, I will let it soak in water for a few minutes and give it a few rinses so it's not too starchy, and it makes the rice less sticky as well. Not want anything to splash on me, so let me get my apron. Okay, so this is getting, and it's almost like searing it at the beginning, and then I put it on really low to cook. Season on both sides here. And these are pretty thick, so I want to make sure I get enough seasoning on there. And even though this is garlic salt, I don't feel like there's enough salt to taste, so I put the additional salt on there. The rice, as the rice water is clear as possible. That's where all the starch is. I mean, there's not really a way, I think it's starch, to get rid of it, but the clearer the better. And I usually just give it a few rinses, and then I just go ahead and, okay, check on these. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put in some water because it is starting to dry out a little bit. And I only enough to where it's not dried out. So I don't really like fill it up or anything like that. I just put in like, say, a 1/4 cup and go from there. That's another reason why I like to put, you know, a lot of spices, because it's going to get diluted with the water anyway. So let that cook. All right, time to check on these guys again. Oops. Now they're probably 3/4 of the way done, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in the Brussels sprouts. And for the Brussels sprouts, I will put in about a tablespoon of butter in a bowl here and put the Brussels sprouts in. I will put some salt and pepper, or the garlic salt again, to give it some flavor. Normally eat, it is probably, yeah, it's 4:15, and I normally eat between 4:30 and 5, just because I intermittent fast between 4:30 and 5 to 8:30 and 9 in the morning. I do it really early. I know some people do it from like 8 p.m. to 12 noon the next day. I can't do that. That's just too long for me, especially because I want to have my coffee in the morning. And I usually have my coffee before I work out. So that's why I prefer to do the intermittent fasting earlier. So I do eat before my husband, and he's okay with that, because by the time he gets home from work, he likes to relax a little, and I'm just like, I'm ready to eat. Plus I eat earlier, so everything shifted earlier because of my eating routine, so that works out for me. So dinner is done, and this is it right here. I will show you. It is so tasty. I had to take a nibble. So good. And this is my dinner. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching what I eat in a day, what I eat in a week, and thanks for hanging out with me. And again, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of my videos every time I upload them. Other than that, you all have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.